always think we're going to have a little bit less games each month, but once again, we have a big crate of games that we're gonna have to go through. We did go to a couple conventions, so that's probably why we have a lot of games this month. But let's not chit chat too long and just hop right into it. First up is our DS game, starting off with Pokemon Rangers Shadows of Alma. If you guys saw my Anime Expo convention video, you'll see that's where we picked this game up, and it looks like this is just a sequel to the Pokemon Ranger. One cool thing I did notice about this game is in order to like capture the Pokemon, you have to like vigorously draw circles around it to capture them. But you know, this is typical Pokemon Avenger type kind of game. Next up is Professor Layton in a Diabolical Box. Honestly, we already had this game, but we had it loose, so we wanted to complete it. So we got a complete copy now. And if anybody knows about Professor Layton games, they are mystery games with lots of puzzles. And we actually did collect a couple more Professor Layton games, so you'll see those popping up here in the 3DS section. Next up, we have Pokemon Dash. Now, I've heard this is kind of one of the more lamer or not as good Pokemon games. Essentially, what you're doing is you're just running around as Pikachu and hitting checkpoints. That's basically the whole game. Next up is Barbie 12 Dancing Princesses. Now, I know, a Barbie game, like why? Honestly, there's a really expensive Barbie game out there on the DS that we're trying to collect. So in the meantime, we've been picking up Barbie games just in case they decide out of nowhere they become really expensive. I think the one game that we're looking for, it runs about 500 bucks. Next up is Mr. Driller Drills Spirits. Now, honestly, I thought this was more of a platformer game, but surprisingly, it's more of a puzzle game. So if you're really into like those like Tetris style, connect the blocks and kind of like under a time pressure and make sure that you clear the levels, I guess this will be the game for you. Actually, I kind of want to play this to see what's it about, because I kind of like, if anybody's played like Puzzle Fighter before, I like that kind of game. And for our last bunch in the DS collection, we got 3 different Castlevania games: Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia, and Portrait of Ruin. Now, I don't know which order these games go in, honestly, but if you're a big Castlevania fan or you don't know anything about the games, it's basically your typical like RPG tactical type game. And you'll notice a couple of games that we've been collecting have come from a certain store. So stay tuned. I will have a video on where we went to get these games. So stay tuned for that. Moving on to the 3DS games, we have Professor Layton and the Arasian Legacy. So like I said, we have a couple Professor Layton games that we picked up. If you always wanted to learn how to draw the actual Pokemon for Pokemon Art Academy might be the game for you. We actually got really lucky and found this game at our like local record shop. They had just had someone drop off like a whole bunch of games from their collection, and this one was in that stack. If you want to learn how to draw Pokemon, definitely pick up this game. Next up is Cave Story 3D. Now, if games like Hollow Knight or Ori are your type of style of games, this might be a game for you to pick up. I've heard lots of mixed reviews about this game. Some people really love it, and some people just think it's not all that great. Up to you. If you like those type of games, you probably might enjoy this game. One thing we really liked about picking this up is the cover is like a holographic, so it really is playing into that 3D effect. And we picked up another Professor Layton game, Professor Layton in the Miracle Mask. And then next up we have Dragon Ball Fusions. Now, of course, this is like your typical adventure fighting game, but what's really cool about this is you have the ability to make your own avatar. So I'm super excited to try this out. Next, we have River City Tokyo Rumble. If you're into like beat 'em up games, this is definitely a game for you. Basically, you're like a high school kid who is fighting against these gang members to protect your friends. There is like a whole like little universe for this, because I have River City Girls. So if you're like into that whole like beat 'em up type of game, there's like I think 4 different games: River City Tokyo Rumble, River City Girls, and River City Girls 2. Next up, we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. We're so excited to find this because we were able to finish our little kind of collection. We have Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, and we have the little Rescue Team guidebook. So now we have like a little collection of the 3. We only picked up 1 GameCube game this month, and that was Donkey Kong 2. Basically just a rhythm-based game. Honestly, I'm not sure how good the game is if you're really into like Donkey Kong games. This isn't like the typical platformer game. It's literally you buy a pair of bongos and you're playing the game to the beat. Next up is Warrior Land Shake It. Now, if you're new to my channel, you may not know, but I really like warrior games. They're always really goofy to me. But this particular, it looks more like a platforming game, which I'm surprised because most of the warrior games I played, they're more like little mini games that you play. So I'm so excited to kind of check this one out. The last two games that we picked up in the Wii section are Pokemon Battle Revolution and Poke Park 2 Wonders Beyond. The Pokemon Battle Revolution, it's basically you're a trainer. You're going and battling all these different Pokemon to become like the top trainer. Whereas the Wonders Beyond Poke Park 2, you play as Pikachu and you're like going around this park and trying to save all like different Pokemon from like during the attractions. There's some type of story behind it, but you're essentially saving other Pokemon and playing like little battles and little mini games to save them. This next game, Clock Tower Rewind, I'm super excited for. Evidently, it used to be a Japan exclusive game that it recently got released to the States. So it is a like survival horror game, and you have to like do, from what I've seen, it looks like you have to solve different puzzles and figure out the mystery of the psychopath called the Scissor Man. So super excited to play this game. Moving on to our PlayStation games, we have Guardians Crusade on the PlayStation 1. It's another type of like adventure RPG type game. Next up, we have Get Backers. This is our first import of the month, a Japanese only import game. So I'm not sure. I think you can play this on an American PS2. If you haven't seen, this is based off of the anime, and it's like basically like a fighting game. The Simpsons Road Rage. If you've seen my previous pickups, we are on the hunt for picking up all of the Simpsons games, and this one we got on the PS2. I think we have it also on the GameCube. And the last two games we picked up in the PS2 section are Armored Core 3 and Armored Core 2. Now, this is like a third-person mission-based shooting game, and apparently there's like 20 of these games. So there's like a couple of like the main story and a couple of spin-offs. So we have a lot to go before we pick up the rest of these. Next up in the PSP games, we have the Winx Club Join the Club. Essentially, this is a like adventure type of game. Surprisingly, I thought it was more fashion based, but it's actually an adventure game. And depending on which character you play, you get a different adventure for each one. Then we picked up Brave Story, another type of RPG game. And then our last pickup in the PSP section is Summon Night 5. This is a tactical RPG, but also has elements of like a visual novel. I've also heard it's something kind of similar to Final Fantasy, so if you're into those type of games, definitely check this one out. Do you want to play a game? The only game we picked up in the PS3 section is Saw 3. If you don't know about the Saw universe, it's basically like a horror game where people are locked in an area and they have to solve these puzzles to get out or they die. And to start us off in the PS4 section, we have Mado Monogatari. I don't know how to pronounce that right. But thankfully, you are a magician student at an academy and you are actually a troublemaker, which is kind of interesting. But I'm excited to play this game because what it's kind of given me is like aspects of like Dark Cloud, where you have to like go into dungeons and fight creatures to build up your abilities. Kind of curious to see what else happens in the story with this game. Next up, we have Danganronpa Trilogy. Now, I feel like this is one of the best visual novels out there. If you don't know about the game, essentially, you are a bunch of like high school kids who get trapped in the school and you have to play this killing game. One person, if you commit a murder and get away with it, you can leave and everybody else dies, or the rest of the school has to try and figure out who killed somebody and then you get eliminated. But it's really, really great visual novel and I highly recommend it. Next up, we have Transformers Devastation. If you're really into like the Transformers universe, basically it's just an action-based game where you're just playing as Transformers and going around and defeating different bad guys, essentially. Next up, we have Berserk and the Band of the Hawk. Now, I haven't actually watched the anime, but I hear that it gets pretty wild in this game. So expect a lot of gore and violence in this game. Essentially, yeah, it's like a action-packed type of game. Next up, we have Outlast Trinity. I don't know all the stories of all three games, but I remember the first one, it's mainly like you go into an asylum essentially to find like the mystery or like the story about what happened there, and basically just expect a lot of jump scares and getting attacked because you don't have any way to protect yourself. And then the last pickup in our PS4 was Digimon World Next Order. Essentially, this is like an adventure RPG, I think open world too. and you are put in like a digital world where you have to save the world from a virus, and you team up with like different Digimon to defeat this virus. And then in the PS5 section, we picked up Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact. Now, I'm not really sure why, but this game is getting like a whole bunch of like hate. People don't really seem to like this game. I've only played like a small demo of it and I seem to like it, but I'm not really sure why people don't like it. Regardless, we still picked it up because it might become like a rarity later because it's such a hated game. And our last pickup for the PS5 was the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves Deluxe Edition. Now, honestly, I didn't know this was a fighting-based game, and I actually don't ever hear anything about Fatal Fury very much. You always hear about like Tekken, Street Fighter, like the classics, but I never hear anything about this. So if you're a Fatal Fury fan, make sure to comment down below. The only game we picked up on the Xbox Series X was Expedition 33. Very popular game, probably will be one of the like top games of the year or something for this year. And for the first time in a while, we picked up some PC games this month. Battle Moon Wars 1, 2, and 3. They use characters from like Fate Stay Night, and they're like chibi style, but it's basically like another tactical RPG type of game, if you're interested in those kind of things. And then some of our big box games that we picked up was Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, so another game in the Danganronpa universe. I haven't actually seen or played this game, so I'm really excited to check it out and see what the story is about. Then we have Farm Magica Day 1 Edition. Take a tactical RPG and mix it with like a farming sim, and you get this game. Essentially, you are growing your monsters from seed. So it's not just a garden, you're actually growing your monsters to use in battle, which is kind of cool. I know you can't see it very well, but this next pickup is Pac-Man Double Feature on the Atari 7800. And the reason why we got this is because it's like a con exclusive, so you can't pick this up like anywhere else. They only sell it at conventions, so pretty cool. Then we picked up Blaze Blue Central Fiction Limited Edition. So it has like the soundtrack, the art books, and all that stuff in it. Then we picked up Date Alive Rio Reincarnation. And also another kind of like collector's limited edition that we picked up on the PS4. And it's a dating sim. We don't really pick up very many of those. Some of you may recognize this one, the Persona 5 Scrambled Treasure Box, the Japanese version that we picked up from Anime Expo. The very last game we picked up for the month is Wicked Monsters Blast for the Wii, and this is actually a Facebook Marketplace pickup, and it comes with these cool little blaster guns that you can hook your Wii remotes to, so you can like. So this game is basically like a shooting-based game. You're just shooting at random creatures and objects throughout the whole game. And to kind of play into that fun factor that they blaster guns that come with this, so that you can shoot at the actual things. We actually already have a copy of this game on the Wii, but the game box is really trash. So when we saw that someone was selling a whole like complete little set on Facebook Marketplace, we had to pick it up. So the total number of games we picked up this month was 49 games. Now that wasn't as much as the previous month. Good selection of games that we picked up, especially since we went to 2 different cons in the same month. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely let me know down below what were some of the pickups that were your faves that I got this month, or what you guys actually picked up this month. If you like these kind of videos, make sure to subscribe and like the video. And I guess YouTube has some new type of hype feature. So if you're seeing the hype feature, make sure to hit that too, so that small creators like myself can pop up on more and more channels for other people to see. Otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!